Hello and welcome, BitMonger family. Monger here with you today, wishing you all top of the morning. So, in today's topic, I want to just rattle off some thoughts here real quick. And basically, I'm thinking about why people work their whole lives, they bust their ass, yet they never really look at what is money. How many of you guys, write in the comments please, have really ever thought about what is money? Have you done that deep dive? Have you looked at the history of it? Have you looked at the historical patterns in which we see with global currencies and how they get debased and fall apart, and the Federal Reserve and how that works, and how the dollar is, was tied to gold, and how gold was confiscated, and how we went off the gold standard, and the great financial crisis. If you guys haven't gone down that rabbit hole, I strongly suggest you do. Because when I finally did that, that really changed my life. Big time. Massively. I can't tell you how big of an impact that has had. So, and I know they don't teach it in schools. When it comes to financial literacy, there's really, that component of study has almost been completely wiped out of schools. I don't see it. And I actually was a social studies teacher and a history teacher. It wasn't in the curriculum. It wasn't a topic that was covered. I mean, they might get it in economics, but even when I studied economics in college and university, it was Keynesian theories and these types of things, but they never really talked about what money is and how the system works. Here's an interesting thing, guys. If you've never seen this quote before, let me show you something that's kind of cool. Look at this. Oh, I don't know if you can see all of that. Oops, let me see. Unfortunately, you can't see it all, but it basically says, "Give me control of a nation's money supply, and I care not who makes its laws," said Mayor Amschel Rothschild of the banking dynasty. And if you don't know who they are, guys, that's an interesting study as well, and you'll learn about that if you go down that rabbit hole and you start learning about how money and finance is crucial and how you can be a part of it if you really step into it and look at it and use that knowledge to help you. It's not that difficult, guys, and it's very, very interesting. So if you're one of these guys that are living in the Philippines but wants to live in a nicer place like Thailand or Malaysia, and you're tight on your money, I strongly suggest you look into this, guys, and learn about it. And it's all free. It's all online. You can find tons of resources. Just start learning about what money is and those things that I just discussed earlier. And you'll start to see it, and then start studying Bitcoin and the white paper, and you will be orange-pilled. You will become a Bitcoin guy once you do that. And you look at some of my past videos, like the treasuries and what we're seeing with the governments and this whole idea of game theory, and you look at how usually global reserve currencies, previously they only last for like around 200 years or so, and they usually fall apart due to poor government management, poor fiscal policy. They start printing the money too much, or they start debasing it through, back in the day with coins with, they stopped using silver or gold and started using lead or tin or these types of cheaper metals, and you'll see it, and it's very, very interesting. So I suggest you look into it. Anyways, let's get into Bitcoin, guys. That's what I like to talk about. And my stinky altcoins that are making me shit tons of money. Alright, so guys, we can see Bitcoin did come down a little bit, and it is hanging around 111K. I would like to see it get back above 113K. That's really an important point in which we would like to see it get above. So above these tops that were like these areas, and get above this bottom level here. So, you know, around 113K, get there, hold above that on a daily chart. That would be positive to see right now. It is kind of choppy. I think there's some manipulation going on, and I do suspect that with the rate cut that's coming forward in next week, I think it's the 17th, in which the Federal Reserve will announce what it's doing. They may not cut rates, and if they don't cut rates, I do expect the markets to dump. So if you're in profits, I would put in a trailing stop or have some sort of stop loss in place so you can exit the trade in the money. So right now I'm really doing well. Guys, look at this. Here's the Ondo chart. I was telling you guys to buy this. I was screaming at you to buy it at 89 cents because it was a solid level on the chart. You could see it hitting it. Look at that. Look at it. Hit it here. Nearly hit it here. Nearly hit it here. Nearly hit it here. Wick down below it a little bit. Came down. Hit it again here. Hit it again here. Wick down below it down here. Came back up. Consolidated a little bit. Came back down, hit it here, and then it fucking pumped, guys. So, if you got in on that one, fuck yeah, man, we are fucking in the money again. I've been trading this, this has been range bound, and I've been fucking snapping up fucking thousands of dollars each time it drops down there, guys. You know, I hope you're doing the same. All right. What else? What other coins did we want to look at? These coins. Okay, right now everything's had a slight pump. Like I've been talking about. Look back at my recent videos on cryptos. You'll see the coins that I'm talking about. I still like them. I want to focus on helium though right now because it's one of the few coins that is in the red and is beaten down heavily. And it looks like it's coming back down into this range zone, which I like. So just so you guys know, this blue box that I got here, which I call a value zone, starts here like around 229 and goes back down to about 209. So I would say, you know, if you can, you might want to put a bid in the middle at 219 or anywhere in the zone. I feel like it's very good. I mean, look at this. We were trading up here all the way at, what was that? $4.15, and that was just end of July. And guys, this coin did go all the way up to like around $8 to $10. Okay, it did that not that long ago. I think its all-time high was actually like around $50, but that was the last cycle. So I'm not going to count that. I'm just looking at what's happened in the past year and a half, and it was up at $8 to $10, guys. So to me, this is a screaming buy. As I mentioned before, if you zoom out further on this chart and we look at the daily, we can see, let's zoom it out here. We can see the next point where it might come down to would be this area in which it consolidated for a few days on this bottom piece. So if this breaks below, this bottom point right here is probably going to come down to here, and that's right around $1.90, $1.95, somewhere in that zone. Okay, now, and I'm buying this up. I'm going to continue buying. I'm buying spot, and I got when it dipped down here, I did take a levered position. And I'll add to that, if you are using leverage, guys, if you're using leverage, make sure that you have a stop loss in place, or that you are using low leverage. Generally speaking, when I use leverage, I never really exceed 5x leverage. You can still do on a coin like this, which I believe has an easy 3x in it. You know, you can use 2-3x leverage and have your stop loss quite down far, and still be in a good place, even on a drawdown, and catch that upside when markets rip. Because I do believe Solana is going to be a fucking winner. It already has been. And we know that there's a very good chance that the ETFs are going to be happening. And when money goes into Solana, people will look at the Solana ecosystem plays. That's just how it works, guys. And I've been in crypto long enough to know that. So I suggest, if you want a beta play on Sol, the Sol ecosystem, this is one coin that you should definitely be looking at, along with Zeus, as I've mentioned before. But up to you guys. You know, I've had buddies that have been following me for years now, and I tell them everything that I'm doing, and I'm fully transparent with these guys, and they don't follow my suggestions. They watch me make a ton of money while they fucking, you know, go sideways or make fucking a lot less than I do. So I hope you follow my suggestions. If just one, or if I can just help just one person really a lot, that makes me really happy. Hope you guys are all doing well, and monger on. Oh, learn about money. Learn about money, guys. If you don't know what money is, then God help you. Monger on.